A shocking robbery attempt in Anaheim caught on camera. At least 20 people in broad daylight trying to bust into a jewelry store. But this time, the owner stopped the heist in just seconds.
Another in the series I like to call You Won't Hear It in the Mainstream Media. Welcome to another installment in Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms, your NRA certification of multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below if you like channel, like content, what I do. You can support me, the link, everything's appreciated. Online store is open. CGB20 will get you 20% off, free shipping. Connecticut residents, you got to pay that sales tax. Can't help that. But CGB20 will get you 20% off. Let's talk about this. And this is actually a really good feel-good story, looking at everything else that's been going on here in the last couple of weeks. But we know about the rampant crime in California, the smash and grabs, and the flash mobs who bust into stores and grab as much as they can and run.
Flashback.
We have breaking news right now out of Canoga Park. A large group of masked thieves have smashed display cases and stolen merchandise from Nordstrom. That's in the Westfield Topanga Mall.
Chaos erupting here at the Nordstrom. You can see more than a dozen people masked, hooded, stealing high-end handbags and even dragging in the case where the bags were chained to. Police say in this case, someone used some sort of a spray to debilitate the security guard. No doubt, these thieves got away with thousands of dollars of high-end bags. It's unclear at this point just how many handbags or if that's all that was taken. It's unclear if it's any jewelry or any other sort of merchandise.
A new at 7:30, dozens of iPhones stolen right from an Apple store in the East Bay. Want to show you now some video from the Bay Street location in Emeryville. You can see here the man in all black. He grabs the phones from the display tables, puts them into his pockets, and then he walks out of the store. He also walks past an Emeryville police car before getting into a Hyundai Elantra. Now, we have since learned, though, that there was not an officer in that patrol vehicle.
And this is strictly due to the progressive policies of the California lawmakers. If you remember, California passed a law that said if you're only stealing something that's under $1,000, basically you won't be held accountable for it. And of course, that opened the floodgates in a firestorm, and people were just running into stores, loading up garbage bags and running out. And the store owners had very little recourse, because if they attempted to prevent these people from doing this thing, they could get into serious legal trouble. And that's not just California. We've seen a good, perfect example is in New York, with Daniel Penny being one of the most prominent ones, but also the bodega owner who was in a fight with a person who was beating his butt pretty badly, and he ended up stabbing the guy. Guy died, and they tried to charge him with, I think it was murder too. Basically, the community outrage and even Mayor Adams getting involved, the charges were basically dropped. But the fact that they even charged the guy in the first place, there you go. This story here, there's been a rash, apparently, attacks on jewelry stores in California. Once again, because there's no accountability, these people are becoming more and more emboldened, and they're starting to work as a coordinated group. Multiple cars pull up in front of the business. They all rush in, smash, 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 grab, and all take off. Apparently, they have some very expensive cars while they're doing this, because in one of these clips, a person was driving an Alfa Romeo. That's kind of wow. But they attempted to do this at a California jewelry store, and the owner said, not today.
This business is locked down. There's a double door entry and bulletproof glass. Now, the thieves were able to get into that first door you see there, but that's as far as they got. It's chaos in the parking lot of Alameda Jewelry in Anaheim. A group of robbers jump out of their cars, some armed with large hammers, and start smashing the glass trying to break in. Inside, the owner and his employees were just going about their day. He asked us not to show his face, but he did tell us what happened next.
In second, I heard the ladies, the girls work with me, the employer. She do very high noise. Wow! I don't know what's going on.
And another angle from the store's security cameras. The first door shatters, glass flying everywhere. Only one door left between the burglars and the showroom. That's when the owner bolts from the back and grabs his gun.
I think it for one thing, to protect my business and my employer, I have to shoot. I do one shot to scare first.
It worked. The group panicked, scattered, and scrambled back into their cars before speeding off. A bullet hole is still etched in the glass beside the door, a lasting reminder of how close they came. The owner says he's put serious security measures in place, and he believes that's exactly why the thieves didn't make it inside.
36 years job with my family to do this business.
This business isn't the first one robbers have targeted, but it is the first where a store owner has fought back. In June, burglars went off with a staggering $1.5 million in gold and diamonds after using power tools to cut through the roof and safes of a family-owned jewelry store in El Monte. In Encino, another crew used a blowtorch to slice through the wall at an Encino jewelry mart, stealing from 5 different jewelers. And just a month earlier, in May, 2 separate crews hit stores in Glendale and Simi Valley, breaking in through the roof and ransacking the businesses. Back in Anaheim, the store owner says enough is enough.
I hope so to the government to see what's going on in California from the north to the south. You have to give at least the ownership, the business, some protects or some easy to carry the guns or arm to defend herself.
The Anaheim Police Department says detectives are investigating, and fortunately no one got hurt.
Heard that and you saw that. My applause go out to this guy. But when I first saw this story and I said, you know what? He did this in California. Some places I would be like, he's good to go. But California and all these blue, liberal, progressive, backward states are more inclined to charge the law-abiding citizen with the crime than actually holding the criminals accountable. The thing is with this though, the glass was bulletproof. The owner must have known this. So he probably just did that as a deterrent. But I'm still just a little worried because California is so backwards that they wouldn't come after this guy for discharging the firearm. But I think they realized that if they did, they would catch the same backlash that New York got for basically trying to charge a bodega owner with protect himself. But this needs to happen every single time. I mean, California is a nightmare for law-abiding citizens and a haven for criminals, and they make it that way. They have no problem keeping it that way. But every store owner should be put in check, should be allowed to defend not only themselves, not only their staff, but to defend their property. Because as much as these woke idiots like to say that this is a victimless crime and insurance will cover it, your insurance is only going to cover so much. And if it keeps happening, your insurance is not going to insure you anymore. That's what happens. But I applaud this owner for just basically saying, not today, not today. Stepped right up, fired one shot, and look what happened. As soon as he pulled that trigger, they were all gone. This needs to happen each and every time, and they need to track these people down. At some point, there's a chance they're going to up the ante and say, well, we still want the stuff. We still want to steal. But we're going to have to do something where we can stop a person from shooting at us. And what is that? They're going to go get themselves some guns, and then we're going to have a real problem. They need to nip this in the bud right away. Now you got to remember that California, the voters actually voted to strengthen shoplifting laws, and Newsom basically seems to be just plain and simply ignoring it, because this is rampant all throughout California. Why? Because they're soft on crime. And these astronauts, future astronauts, engineers, intellectual scholars are going to keep doing this, and they're going to keep escalating. Because I'm pretty sure, despite the fact the law says if you steal under $1,000, I'm pretty sure all this jewelry is over $1,000, which shows you they're getting bolder and bolder. Kudos to the store owner. God bless you, man. And every store owner should be allowed to defend themselves, but not only themselves, but their property. And once again, when these idiots start figuring out that there's a price to be paid for their trade, for their choices in life, they'll stop doing it. It's that simple. But Let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified the next time a video goes live. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.